O-Level Biology 5090, Chapter 15, and the topic is coordination and response in plants. First of all, we will discuss what is tropism. Tropism is actually the ability of living organisms to respond to a stimulus because they are sensitive in nature. So we know that plants do not respond by moving their whole bodies, but they can move their different parts in response to a stimulus. So some of these responses are described as tropic responses or tropisms. We will discuss them one by one in the next slides. First of all, gravitropism. Gravitropism is the movement or growth of a plant in response to gravity. And gravitropism is an important plant growth response to the environment that directs shoots upward and roots downward. Shoots in the upward direction and roots in the downward directions. So I would like to say that it means the roots grow towards the gravity and shoots go away from the gravity. So thereby allowing each organ to reach environments that are adequate for performance of their primary functions. Roots demonstrate positive gravitropism as roots are moving in response to gravity or towards the gravity. So they show positive gravitropism, whereas the shoots, they are moving away from the gravity, so they show the negative gravitropism. Plant shoots demonstrate negative gravitropism since they grow in the opposite direction of gravity. So gravitropism is the movement or growth of a plant. So shoots show the negative gravitropism and the roots show the positive gravitropism. And in the next slide, I would like to show you their response. And you can see over here, there are two potted plants. In one, you can see the shoot grows slowly from gravity. Shoot is moving away from gravity, and you know the gravity is in the downward direction, and roots are growing in the downward direction. So they are showing the positive gravitropism, or whereas the shoot is moving away from the gravity, so they are showing the negative gravitropism. And here you can see a potted plant which is a tilted, and it's in the same case you can say the roots are not going towards the soil or in the downward direction, so they are moving away from the gravity and roots are moving in the downward direction. So they will always move, the roots will always move in response to gravity. And the next type of movement is called as uh, phototropism. Photo means light and tropism means turning. So in this way, I would like to say this is the response towards the light or away from the light. So phototropism is the phenomena by which the plants bends in the direction of light. So bends in the direction of light. So some parts of the plants will show the positive phototropism and some plants parts will show the negative phototropism. Students, we know that light is required by the plants to stimulate energy production by the process of photosynthesis. And the photosynthesis cannot take place without sunlight. So almost all plants respond to photosynthesis in order to get more nutrition and energy. The stem and shoots usually react to positive phototropism as they move towards the light. So they will show the positive phototropism, whereas uh, the roots, they are moving away from the light. So they will show the negative phototropism. While negative phototropism takes place in the roots which turn away from the source of light, here gravitropism or geotropism play a major role in their growth. That is, the plants, the roots will always show the positive gravitropism and negative phototropism. And whereas shoots, they will show the positive phototropism and negative gravitropism. So here in the next slide, you can see the growth of the plants when they are moving straight in the upward direction towards the source of light, which is above the plants. So plants growing straight towards the light, uniform distribution of auxins make cells grow evenly, whereas the roots are moving in the downward direction and shoots are moving towards the source of light or the sun. And in this other diagram, you can say a barrier is there uh, to stop the light to reach the plant. So plant will tilt towards that side where there is no barrier to get the sunlight. So it will turn towards the light. The plant bending towards the light, and in this way, the roots are showing the negative phototropism and shoots are showing the positive phototropism. When the plants grow, hormones are involved. So the growth hormones in plants are called as auxin, and auxin promotes cell growth and elongation of the plant. How? In the elongation process, auxins alters the plant wall plasticity, making it easier for the plant to grow upward. So it is, and you can say it is evenly distributed. Auxins, when it is produced, it evenly distributes, and then in this way, the growth of the plants will take place. Auxins are mostly made in the tips of the roots and shoots. So the basic location of the auxins are the roots and shoots, where new roots and shoots are taking place. Cell division is taking place at those places. So auxins are there and can diffuse to other parts of the shoots or roots. So they can diffuse into the other parts. They change the rate of elongation in plants. So the elongation of the different parts of the plant takes place due to these auxins, controlling how long they become and their length according to the requirement of that species. And shoots and roots respond differently to high concentration of auxins. Cells in shoots grow more. So the auxins play a very important role in the growth and elongation of the different parts of the plant. Students, here is an investigation about gravitropism. So experimental setup can be the plants. How can we set up experimental setup? The plants are placed in various orientations. So the various orientations, one plant such as upside down, one pot is upside down or on their sides, and the growth direction of the roots and shoots is monitored. So these different pots will be uh, set at a place. On one side, they will get the light from the, you can say, in the upward direction and from side. So in this way, the growth, they will be monitored and the growth will be checked. Results and observations, roots grow in the direction of gravitational pull, that is in the downward direction, while shoots grow opposite to it, that is in the upward direction. These observations confirm the nature of gravitropism in plants. In the next slide, we will see the diagram in which this investigation has been shown. You can see in the first setup, there is a normal, or you can say a plant is growing in the upward direction, but on the other pot is upside down, and the third pot where it is tilted on one side. So you can say in all these cases, the roots are going in the downward direction and shoots are going in the upward direction. So it shows that the gravitropism is that phenomena in which the roots move towards the gravity and shoots move away from the gravity. So the shoots show the negative gravitropism and the roots will show the positive gravitropism. And in the next investigation is about phototropism. Again, the experimental setup, plants are exposed to unilateral light and the growth direction and curvature of the shoots are observed. So it was the setup for the experiment. Then results are observation, shoots bend towards the light source, illustrating positive phototropism. The extent of bending can be measured to quantify the phototropic response. We can uh, observe all these in the next slide, in which experimental setup has been shown. Now you can see in the number 1, 2, and 3. In the number 1 diagram, you can see the light is coming from the left side. So the shoot is moving towards the light. This is the barrier which will stop the light to come from the forward direction. So it is coming from the left side. So barrier is not there. So the shoot will move towards the light. In the diagram number 2, you can say the light is from the upward direction. So the shoot is moving towards the light and a straight growth is taking place in that. And in the third diagram, you can say the light is coming from the right side, other side is covered with the barrier. So the shoot is going towards the right, or it is turning or bending towards the right side. And in all the three cases, you can say the wherever the light is, the shoot will move towards the light, whether or it is bending on the right side or whether it is bending on the left side. But roots will move in the downward direction because they are showing the negative phototropism, whereas shoots are showing in all these cases, that is, they are moving towards the light, they are showing the positive phototropism. So students, it was all about the coordination and response in plants. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And thanks for watching.